We are living and working in a very crowded marketplace. Never before has inventory for residential real estate been so low. Never before has there been so much competition for listings. This episode not only reveals to you the importance of putting your face back into your marketing and your human emotion touch back into your communication, but it also talks about some of the tactical ways that you can apply the service of BombBomb. Again, Darin Dawson is the founder and CEO of BombBomb, and the value that he brings to the Think Bigger Real Estate Show today is remarkable. You're going to love it. I can't wait for you to hear this episode. Enjoy. Welcome back to the Think Bigger Real Estate Show. I'm your host, Justin Stoddart, coming at you again today with such incredible value. I'm so fortunate, so grateful to have with me the CEO and founder of BombBomb. BombBomb has become a household name. Those that use it love it. Those that aren't yet using it feel like they probably should, and that's probably true. Again, today's guest is going to teach us not only the how to stay close to people in a socially distanced world. We're going to talk about, for those of you that are BombBomb users or want to be, like how to use the software at its highest possible capacity. And I'm excited to have you here. Darin Dawson, again, founder and CEO of BombBomb. Thanks, Darin, for being here.
Thanks a lot, Justin. It's good to be here, man.
Yeah, total pleasure. I've been a fan of your software, and of just the content that you and your team put out is phenomenal. I think anytime you can take a product and layer on top of that product valuable knowledge, you no longer have just a product, you have an offer. And you guys are repeatedly putting out very valuable offers to the marketplace. And I know the real estate industry has noticed, and that's not just all. Obviously, that's the primary market that we're speaking to today is the real estate industry, but there are industries far beyond that are embracing your software and your movement. Before we get too much into the practices of really how to use this software and others to really stay close to people in a socially distant world, I want to hear quickly like the story of BombBomb. How did this come to be? You're the founder. You're the guy that had the idea. Talk to us a little bit about kind of how that happened.
Yeah, I'm a co-founder. Connor and I is my best buddy. We been in business together a lot, actually, but he really came up with the idea. In essence, we were involved in a marketing company, okay, and we were specializing in multifamily apartment communities. And we built, the company I was in built a product called Collect and Connect. It was a software that was meant to send you basically a drip email campaign. This is like in 2004, maybe 3. So super early. Connor was like, it would be super cool is if we could send video with that. And I'm like, yeah, that'd be great. So Connor actually, back then, he got a server and put it in his closet. That's the only way. Look, YouTube was brand new and was privately owned at this time. You didn't have one of these, and it didn't have this in it, this camera. It wasn't available. So we hosted a video. He hosted a video on the server, and he sent it out just as an attachment. And we still have this video. We played it at the Christmas party. It's really funny. It's a 4-second video. But basically, he was like, "Hi, I'm Connor McCluskey." He sent it out to all his customers, and we were both in sales and marketing. And he was actually in billboard sales. And he sent it out to about 100 customers saying, "Hi, I'm Connor McCluskey. If there's anything I can do for you, please contact me on my personal line." And then he had the phone number show up. And everybody responded to him saying, "Wow, I want this service. I want this video email product." And we're like, "Hey." And we're always, looking for businesses to start and we thought, this is the one. This is the one that could. This was before. Right now, there's a SaaS movement. Software as a service is a popular thing. People go to school for entrepreneurship. This was before that. So we're like, we should start this company, and it's a software company. We knew nothing about software. Nothing. And so we began this endeavor together. And he quit his job shortly after that. I didn't. So Connor actually gets the rights of started the business. I kept my day job. I had twins at the time. I just had twins. I'm like, bro, I ain't quitting my day job. I'm going to keep my job. And then I ended up quitting in 2011 when we founded the business in 2006, but really didn't sell any products until 2012.
What a cool story.
Yeah,
it's always interesting, like these kind of garage startups. Look at these companies that people admire and are well known. And it's funny to hear the story, kind of the same insecurities that many people face when they're starting their real estate business, right? Where it's like, boy, it's going to turn into, and then they look back and they're like, oh my goodness, look what I've created.
Yeah.
Like it's really helped a lot of people.
I think some people quit too soon is the thing I'll say. And so if you're out there and you're thinking about giving up, don't. We almost gave up like 6 times. And you never know how close you are to the next breakthrough. I mean, for some of you out there, keep pushing. I know it's hard.
Such great advice, Darin. Let's talk a little bit about this concept that you alluded to. I know we've had the conversation prior about automation, right? It's kind of, we live in this world where it's easy to automate stuff. And I'll actually see real estate agents that I work closely with that will spend hours and hours and days and weeks to get their automated drip campaigns set up just right, so that with a push of a button, everybody can receive the same vanilla email. And they're just like, done. I'm done. My business is
Let's wait for the leads to come in. I have released the bait into the water. The fish will jump in.
That's right.
Yeah, we've seen it forever. Yeah.
And it's interesting when all of us kind of have that moment where it's like, yeah, set up. But then when we're on the other end of that and we get what we know is a very vanilla email, it's definitely not in the voice of the person. There's no face associated with it. We don't feel overly special. It's like delete, archive, whatever it is. Like, you know, it's not human communication, interaction with a person. It's just you're slamming information at us. I would imagine that was part of what inspired you guys to build what you've built.
That is the problem we solve. So this is the problem that we saw, that we were better in person. We wanted to find a way to scale our one-to-one ability. So too many customers, not enough time. That's why people lean into automation. Well, I couldn't possibly meet with all these people. Well, that's true. But you can scale your time and you can scale yourself through video. You know, I think one of the issues, you really phrased it well. It's this proliferation of automation, though. I think it's even exacerbated that problem, and it's all text. I mean, it's our text on your phone, it's messaging on LinkedIn, it's on Messenger and Facebook, it's in our inboxes for sure. And so when I'm done with this conversation with you, I'll go to my inbox and I'll see a whole bunch of emails trying to get my time, and I click one, I shift, click the other, and I delete them all. The problem is there could have been a real specific message for me in that, but I don't trust it even anymore, right? Listen, unless you really spend some time crafting it, I don't even trust that is from a person, because I think you're relying on automation. So the cat's out of the bag, the horse is off the barn. We don't believe it anymore. Even if it is true, so you send this text email that you did spend all this time crafting it, we think you're using some automated service that does that for you, right? We've gotten jaded. And so I think what we need to get back to, and so if you're a person listening to this or watching this, and you know the people that you work with on a regular basis, if you're in real estate, listen, you got 50 people that you can reach out to and say things like, Justin, I hope you're doing well. This is a crazy time we're all going through. How are you? How's the family? How's the house? I can't believe it's been 5 years since we moved you in there over at Oakdale Drive. Gosh, listen, I just want you to know that I hope you're well, and I wish the best for you. If there's anything I can do for you, let me know. That right now is, you want to know, we're going to get there. What are the best things that people can do? People overthink it. The best thing that people can do right now is show empathy and show gratitude for other human beings. And the best way to do that is face-to-face. So we believe at BombBomb that human beings have intrinsic value and that we are different than any other thing. And then when I see a human being and I see the emotion they have and the sincerity, that reads to people in a different way. And see, right now, especially with COVID and this worldwide epidemic we find ourselves in, I think people have a long, long memory for acts of goodwill, right? We're all going through a hard time, or now I'm trying to figure out what's school going to be like this year. Golly, I have no idea. And maybe that's a great thing to empathize with someone on. Man, if you're like me, I'm waiting for the email from the elementary school to see what we're going to be doing. And gosh, I just want to reach out to you and say hello. Hope you're doing well. That type of touch point right now doesn't have to be about real estate. We can get there, but it doesn't have to be about real estate right now. It should be about being humans right now. That's what makes me want to refer you. It makes you remind me how much I liked working with you in the past. And I think it goes a long way.
You know, there's so many real estate agents that I work closely with who I ask them about the contact plan for their sphere. And they know darn well that by simply being in contact with their sphere, their business will be full of opportunity. Yet something keeps them from reaching out to people. I've had actually a conversation with just a number of agents recently, and they're like, you know what? There's people I'm comfortable reaching out to and talking to. There's other people that I like. They like me, but I'm just not connecting with them because it seems like because I haven't connected with them in X amount of time, it's been a while. It's going to seem awkward. It's going to be that awkward silence of why you calling? We're not ready to sell our house. And what you just gave people, Darin, was an absolute gift. Is realizing it doesn't have to be two-sided right away, right? They're going to receive it.
That's it.
At minimum, if you're not calling people, at minimum, right? This is such a powerful way to get a message to people that I genuinely care about you. I'm checking in on you. You matter to me. I haven't forgotten about you. Is there anything that I can do to serve you? Like that, like, and not only is it powerful because you're doing it, right? But now you've also taken your face and put with it, right? And that's kind of the theme of the show, is that your face is more valuable than anything out there. Talk to us a little bit about why video, right? Why video is so important when I know there are a lot of people that are like have video aversion.
Yeah, well, that's a deeper, let me add one more thing and I'll go there. But the reason that also works for saying that video is because they get to watch on their time and receive it on their time and choose to respond on their time. When we're calling them, we're interrupting them during their day. And that's why they get that aversion. Like, man, it feels like I'm interrupting you. Yeah, you are. I like you. If I bumped into you at the grocery store, I'd say hello, but I'm busy and this is in the middle of my day. So a video, this is why we like the original. When we launched this idea, it was like, yeah. And then they could watch it whenever they deemed it worthy to get my time. They can spend the 5 minutes, they get the feeling of bumping into you, and then they can respond. Now, I'm not interrupting their day. They get to watch on their time. So that's just one more piece by the video. And then if you watch it, man, then call them. And yes, you have different levels of relationship. I think that's key too. You should group them in your top. Then you're, Buffini, A's, B's, C's is what he would tell you. And I agree. Who your best? And then ask them to refer you. Who your second best? Reach out to them. So that's that. Now let's get to video aversion. I think it was part of the question. And why video, right? Look, if you watch me, I use my hands. I have just the tone in our voice. All these things are human communication. We've only had black text on a white screen for like 25 years max. And not all of us have been using it that long. Some of us are technology natives, like you probably are. I kind of am. I'm an Xer. I was born in 74. I didn't get email until like my senior year of high school. Just think about that. We're not just technologically native, okay? So black text on a white screen hasn't been around that long. And so most of the time when we were communicating, we're selling things, we're doing business, we're doing it face-to-face. That's why video is such a key thing. It's a flight back to the face. We have commoditized ourselves, frankly. I think the places that BombBomb is being the most successful right now are in real estate, insurance, financial services, mortgage, title, automotive. And you think about it, in a lot of ways, those are the things that have really been tried to be commoditized by technology. We try to replace those faces, automate those things. No, those are all things that have been done face-to-face for a very, very, very long time. So I would encourage the listeners and watchers, hey, go back to the face. You're better in person. I always ask this question. Do you think you're better over a text email or on voicemail? And almost everybody would say on voicemail. My second question to them is, do you think you're better on voicemail or over the phone? Well, yeah, over the phone. Do you think that you're better over the phone or in person? Most of the time, the reason we're calling people is to get in person somehow. So please lead with your super strength. That's being face-to-face. If you're in sales, and if you're in real estate, you're in sales. And if you don't think you are, it might be the wrong spot for you. Like you're in sales. So you want to be face-to-face as much as possible. Human connection, these things matter. I think they matter more than ever in this challenging time we find ourselves in. My biggest thing is trying not to say new normal. I'm so tired of the new normal. So I'm not trying to say that, but I will say emphatically, this is something that is more important than ever in this new challenging time we find ourselves in.
I love that you talked about that it's it's really interesting how as human beings, we sometimes discount what our areas of brilliance are because we're blind to them to some degree, right? And I would say anybody, if you're in sales, you've naturally been drawn to that because you're good face to face with people. I'll oftentimes have agents that will say like, video, not for me. And I have to ask them, I say, wait a minute, tell me why. Well, I don't like hearing my voice. I don't like seeing my face. Okay, but you realize like every time you actually do your job, you're using your face and your voice. You've got to get over that because the reality is we all know what you look like. We all know what you sound like, and we still like you. The fact that you're just now hearing it or able to go back and push repeat and hear it again doesn't change the fact of how we've responded to it and why you've thrived in the business that you have or would like to thrive. And so I completely agree with you that this video aversion, I call people's bluff. I say, look, if you were really that averse to having people hear your voice and see your face, you would not have chosen this profession. There's countless other professions out there that have you behind the scenes, not out meeting with people. So you chose a profession where you're out meeting with people. The reality is just don't hide that last step of getting your face out there. And it's amazing what will happen when you're not forgotten. And I think the biggest risk that people have right now with, these big tech portals that are doing a fantastic job of getting and keeping your client's attention is that you've got to find a way to be memorable, right? And you've got to find a way to keep their attention. And there's no better way than to have your face involved in that, right? Because it's the only unique thing out there.
There's real fear to it, though. I understand that, and I don't want to over or de-emphasize it. It's real fear. Forever, we have been trained that video needs to be perfect. We watch, the 10 o'clock news or the 11 o'clock news, wherever you live, and we have this idea that that's what it is. That's what video is. And we think about listing videos, and those should be well done, right? But listen, I've probably sent at this point something like somewhere north of 6,000 videos. We have people on our team that have sent north of 18,000 personal videos. And as a company, we just looked at this, almost 550,000 videos, personal one-to-one. What I can guarantee you is none of them were perfect. None, zero.
Yeah.
Think about that. I've sent 6,000 videos. None of them are perfect, but I've sent 6,000. When you get used to sending video, I don't send text emails. I just quit doing it. I mean, unless it's like 5 words. Yes, I'll be at the meeting. Thank you. Yes, that makes sense. That's text messaging, fine. But if it's an email where I want to make sure I'm understood, I'm heard, and I want to know that happens, it's a video. I just quit doing it. I quit doing text email, and I challenged our entire executive team to quit doing text email. We just won a pretty significant deal against one of our competitors and they said, we went with you because you actually use our product. I just laughed. That's crazy to me to say that. But we use video every day. We're not allowed to BombBomb. If you work at BombBomb, we use Slack, we use LinkedIn, we use email, but it's all video. We don't send text. We just don't. We believe that people are better face to face. I think the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. Like anything, it builds confidence. You get used to it. You find better ways to implement it. But I think people tend to overthink it, and they get in their own heads. And just send it is the best advice I can give you. Just send it. It's never going to be perfect. We're imperfect people. It's okay.
Yeah, you're right. If it gets too polished, in fact, I have a mentor of mine who I've been listening to recently quite a bit. And he said the biggest problem with most of the marketing that people put out there is that it's actually too good.
Too
is
shiny.
That people don't believe it. Yep. Is that you no longer seem like you anymore. You no longer seem like someone relatable that can actually help them get from A to B because looks like you have it all figured out. And so I think part of what you're saying there is actually the strength of it, right? Is that we're human, and these videos demonstrate the fact that, hey, we're human.
Yeah, I always like to say I have a face for radio, but I'm in the video business, and it's okay. I like that. I think normal people want to see normal people. When you get too shiny, it's too polished. It has to be authentic. You have to be transparent. People crave that more than ever now, and people right now are craving human contact. I was mentioning a broker friend of mine, large company, 400 agents. He said, man, as soon as this COVID thing, I didn't realize what I had lost, which was the ability to go be face to face with people. And then I realized even if I wanted to, I didn't have enough time to be face to face with as many people as I would want to be. So he started sending videos, and he's sending videos to the agents that are closing transactions because he's not in the office to tell them good job. So he has to tell them good job now through video, right? We can't, 6 feet social distancing, we're just not in face to face with people. So using as a leader to tell, good job. I use it now like, hey, welcome to BombBomb. We're adding people, but I can't be in the office to say congratulations. I got to say, hey, I'm so glad you're on the team. We can't wait to see what you do for us. It's all video, and using these personal touch points to be very intentional and authentic with other human beings.
Let's move. And you've kind of been flirting with this topic a little bit here, so I'm going to move to it now, which is all of the things that you shared were 100% relevant pre-COVID. Now take COVID and everything, so many agents had developed their business by being knee to knee, by being face to face, by being like out in person with people. And now all of that is being shoved to online, right? And so many people, their key strength is in their minds somewhat gone, right? How much more relevant has what you guys, or is what you guys do and is what you have created now that COVID is our reality, right? And the world will probably look different moving forward. I think we all agree with that.
Yeah, it really was a multiplier of need for the product. So, we monitor different KPIs in our business. One of them is how many people are leaving it, how many people are letting go of the product. We went in half. I mean, people didn't lose BombBomb. Is one product that they felt that they needed because they needed to keep in contact with these people. I mean, just some simple use cases. Again, I go back to the Buffinis. I think they're great, good people. And one of the things that they teach principally is something called a pop by, where you might just pop by and don't go door knocking, right? Well, what we've worked out, one of the ideas we worked out somewhat with them is this idea of a virtual pop by, where you just kind of send a video, check in, how are you doing, what's going on, and then I'd propose leave something of value, help them. This could be, back when we were all doing to-go menus, it's so different depending on where you live, but maybe it's a to-go menu from your favorite Mexican restaurant, or maybe it's the plan from the school district. Hey, just want to make sure you saw this. And one of my favorite things was my kids, I have young children too, and so we rode the virtual rides at Disney World. So Disney World put out all these videos of the rides because you couldn't go to Disney World. I mean, it kept them occupied for a good hour. And listen, as a parent, an hour is gold sometimes. So just something fun that you could provide as an item of value to give them, and just, again, hold off on maybe the real estate talk until it makes more sense. Maybe do a couple of those check-in touches. How are things going? Item of value. But at the end of the day, you can tell them about how you're transacting real estate now, how it's changed for you. But look, in most of the markets that I'm talking to, it is busy. There is less inventory than there were before. Yeah. So help them understand. I think there's a lot of fear in people. Like, how would I put my house in the market during this? How does that work? How do I keep my family safe? What precautions are you going to take? And just some of those things it's a great time to educate people about how you're going to be able to be relevant and help them through this transaction, even with a worldwide pandemic going on.
Yeah. Well said, Darin. And I consider myself kind of an underutilizer of BombBomb services. I see some stuff you guys have rolled out recently is fabulous. The Google Chrome app, which makes it so easy to record and then grab from a phone or a device or wherever, and just makes it really, really accessible. I love that part of it. I also love you guys rolled out the screen recorder. And I want to kind of share an idea here with agents. I've had a number of agents who have toted the power of doing unsolicited CMAs, right? Where you can go in and actually have, give people an update on their home, their neighborhood, the price and everything without them asking for it, which really builds a moat of value around those people to where why would they go anywhere else when, number one, you care enough to do work on their behalf when they didn't even ask for it. And I think this tool is a great way to do that, right? Where you can have your screen, you're recording the screen, and you also have that prized possession, that unique face right there as well, walking them through it as if you were sitting at their dinner table, walking them through these same things. It's a great.
I saw a great example of that, of a kind of a pre-CMA, right? Where you're sending it before even talking to them. But what the agent did was in the screen recorder, the first, in BombBomb, the first 3 seconds are made into an animated GIF that the recipient sees. And we spend a lot of time thinking about the recipient of the message. Yeah. Most of our development time is about the recipient, not the user, which is you all. It's the recipient. Okay, and so this first 3 seconds, that the recipient saw was Google Earth zooming in on that person's home. Pretty cool. Great idea. And so the idea was, it was the subject line was their home address, and the video was zooming in from Google Earth on the property real quick. And then it jumped to the person, the agent's face. Hey, how you doing? Using their name. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Dawson. Just want to reach out to you. Yes, that's your house. Look, I don't know if you know this, but the inventory in your area is in high demand. So have you had any thoughts of selling this summer? If you have, I put together the CMA for you to really, articulates the value of your home and what we could do. And I'll just ask him with an open-ended question. So have you had any thoughts of moving? Let me know. Just open-end that, see what the response could be. He was very successful with that zoom in on Google Earth.
What a great idea. I didn't realize that the GIF captured the first 3 seconds. That's great to know, right? Because you can really kind of time that and say, what can I do in these 3 seconds that creates such a compelling reason for them to click and listen to the video?
Yep. And remember, in a world where we feel like no email is truly for us, you got the opportunity in that gift to say, some of our folks, I don't have one here, but hold up a little whiteboard or even a piece of paper. It says, Justin, this is for you. Or Justin, I want to buy you a cup of coffee, whatever. But, that's different, right?
Yeah.
And you mentioned the Chrome extension. I want to give you an idea, because you said you need other ways to use this, right? The Chrome extension was designed to be able to put video literally anywhere. So BombBomb is a video messaging platform. So we do send video email, but that Chrome extension, you can grab that and you can put videos in your LinkedIn messages. You can put it into Messenger. You can put it into almost anywhere, into the CRM that you may be using. So it's really made it to be versatile to deliver video. And that has tracking in of itself. So if you name it, so let's say video for Justin, I send out my CRM, right in the Chrome extension, I have a tracking icon there that tells me if the video is watched or not. So even outside of email, outside of messaging platforms, even your phone, you can use the Chrome extension to pop those in and still have video in any platform you might be using.
Well, that's powerful, Darin, because I didn't realize that. I hadn't thought through that you could put it anywhere. I oftentimes will tell agents how important it is to communicate with their clients through the medium that their clients most appreciate, and most are most inclined to look at and see, and like where they're at.
Yep.
That could be, Instagram DM, right? LinkedIn, Facebook, could be email, like you said, could be could be any of these places. What a powerful tool. Are there any other secrets, Darin? Now, I know for anybody that's watching right now, I've actually asked Darin to send me after this some kind of tools that allow people to best utilize BombBomb. Now, so if you're a BombBomb user or you aspire to be one, in the Think Bigger Real Estate group, we're going to be putting PDFs that are going to be able to help you rehumanize your business, right? They're going to help you be able to take the power of this tool and not lose ground during COVID-19, but to rather gain ground while others sit on the sidelines. So if you're not yet a member of the group, go get in the group. Darin's going to send those to me. We're going to post them in the group later today. Darin, tell us what else are, like, for people that feel like maybe they're underutilizing BombBomb. Is it just the frequency, or is there some other tip or trick that you love that'd be really helpful for people to know that they might not know about?
Yeah, I always get that question a lot, but my hesitancy is I think a lot of people just overthink, and even the idea of how many touch points should I do a day, or they want a programmatic approach, and I agree with that. So I'm going to say, listen, if you went out to just your past clients and you reached out to 2 of them a day, okay, it's 10 a week for a month, maybe 2, and just time block the time. That's what most people don't do. They let their day get away from them. You got to write it down. I'm going to do videos right now. I'm going to do my appreciation videos. I try to, with everyone who reaches out to me on LinkedIn, for the most part, it's been a lot lately, but I try and respond with a thank you and accept their LinkedIn with a video. And that's a lot, right? I mean, but I got to time block that to do it. Mm-hmm. Some of these easy tactics, it's designed to build better relationships so that your business can excel. So you must time block time to do it. There's no crazy idea, literally, if you started replacing some of your text emails with video, you will win. If you just begin and set a goal for yourself that, yes, I want to send 1,000 this year. So how many, back that up. How many is that a day? How many is that a week? You got to catch that up. Who am I going to reach out to? What am I going to say? Do a little game planning there. Create some messaging around that. That's this. Look, most people just don't have a plan, and they're just trying to attack it, and it never happens. They also think that they have to have everything perfect, in that I don't have the right camera, I don't have the right microphone. Listen, I'm using my Mac, and I'm using the microphone in my Mac, and if I'm not using that, I'm using this. Yeah. That is it. That's how I send video. That's it. So they overthink it, thinking I need to have all the right stuff. Mm-hmm. But more importantly, they don't time block, they don't have a plan, and they don't write out what they're going to say. So I think reaching out to past clients is the very easiest thing to do. You have a previous relationship. Again, group them in your top friends. Reach out to the friends you're not seeing as much as you typically would. I've been doing that too, sending them videos. I send videos that, my son signed up for soccer. I'm sending video messages to his new coach. And his new coach goes, "That's amazing. I've never gotten a video before." So it's still super novel. People haven't gotten videos before. And so when they get them, they're like, wow. So do that, wow some people. It's just stop overthinking it. Have a little bit of a plan, 2 a day, 3 a day. I challenged the person with this one time, and they, within the first 2 weeks, got 3 referrals just from using it. And they were, 1 listing was a listing, and 2 were for a buyer. One of them about that. I mean, it's just, look, a systematic approach to your business will give you dividends anyway, in anything, video or not.
I want everybody to think about this. What Darin just said right there, I want to put a punctuation mark behind it, which is, by default, you're going to email somebody, right? By default, you're going to do something that everybody else is doing. If the goal of marketing is to have you stand out, be remembered and seen as different, and people are choosing you as a realtor in part because of your proficiency in marketing, right? How good you are at a marketer. And if you blend in with everybody and you're sending emails back and forth, I would even encourage you to think about it this way. People that are working primarily with buyers right now, and you're trying to get the attention of the listing agent to say, my offer is really good, right? Send them a BombBomb. Have the lender send a BombBomb. Like, just ways to stand out. You're going to be memorable. I can't tell you how many listing agents that have said a large reason why I chose the offer that I chose is because the lender reached out and assured me that financing was good. And number 2, because I've got a relationship with the agent, right? Like, I know that person's going to get it done. They're going to communicate. They're going to respond. They're going to be reasonable. We're going to get the deal done. And, it's really fascinating. This, again, just all the uses now for this tool, this powerful technology. It's really, really exciting there. And I really appreciate you coming onto the show to really teach us and educate us about how we can really stand out in a crowded marketplace that needs to be rehumanized. It's been such a, such a privilege to have you here. I'm going to jump now, Darin, to the signature question of the show. And let me preface this by saying you're a big thinker, right? That's why you're on the Think Bigger Real Estate Show. Yeah. You're doing some incredible things. Talk to us a little bit about how Darin continues to be a big thinker, how you continue to expand your possibilities. What does that look like for you?
That's a great question. I believe, I've never met one yet, that isn't. I believe leaders are readers. The big thinkers are readers. I mean, I see the books behind you. You have to, and it's insatiable for me. I love it. I love reading. I love podcasts. I tend to, go from one and then the next. I got 4 books going at the same time, kind of thing. And I might pick and choose some of the chapters I want, and others I consume entirely. But I think that's a big deal. You have to continue to listen to other people and have a diverse aspect of what you're pulling from. And don't be afraid to ask yourself some of the tough questions that are dangerous to you. What happens if my competitor does this? What happens if this happens? And just try and hedge that a little bit, maybe. And because I think as entrepreneurs, as business owners, we all have that fear in the back of our heads. I like to engage that more head on. And I tend to think that fear goes away when you do that a little bit more. And then, if you don't know something, go learn it. You can find it. The book exists. You can engage with this. we recently got involved in a different way of how we built our product, and I wasn't really up to speed on it. I went and read like 3 books on it, and I'm pretty good now. Like, I can have the conversation with our teams. So I was trying to like reinforce myself. I also think that big thinkers are naturally curious. You have to be naturally curious. I think salespeople should be naturally curious. Ask the 6th question to get just a little bit further down the road, to help yourself understand and empathize with the problem that they have and how you might be able to help them out. And be brave enough, if you can help them, to walk away. Like, too many people don't know who their ideal customers are, and we try and sell things to the wrong people, and it ends up working out poorly for everybody, right? So if you're a luxury person, just own it. If you're a mid-sized house person, like, own that, right? And like, be the best, and try and stick in your wheelhouse, and then maybe you can move up later, but sometimes we take on too much at one time.
Yeah. Well, and I think if the goal is to serve people at the highest level, your concept about 6 questions, right? Like, the more that you can know about them, the easier it becomes. Like, with every additional question you step forward with, they're giving you gifts of like, serve me in this way. This is my pain point, right? But oftentimes we don't ask. We don't either empathize or have the skill set or the mindset enough to keep going deeper.
People choose people that care.
Yeah.
How are they going to know you care? And how can you stand out? So when you get the opportunity to have that listing presentation, ask the deeper, go a little bit farther than the last person did, or last person's willing to, and figure out a way for yourself to get there.
Well, and I feel like, I mean, at least from my opinion, the reason why BombBomb exists, part of the reason why you guys founded this, because you're people who genuinely care. And you saw a void in the world of when we go digital communication, we miss a lot of that, right? We miss the ability to illustrate to other people, to demonstrate to them that we genuinely care. And I'm grateful, as I know an entire industry and a whole bunch of other people are, that you guys stuck your neck out there, took the risk, kind of went through that garage building phase, took the risk, even with twins, and stepped out to build this product and continue to make it better and better. So I want to thank you for that. And I want to thank you again for coming on the show. It's been a total pleasure getting to know you and hear more of your story. And I would encourage anyone that's listening here, if you're not yet subscribed to BombBomb, do yourself a favor. There's never been a better time than to connect your face with the people that need to hear from you. And this is such a powerful tool that takes into consideration a lot of the pandemic concerns that we have in our world today. So with that final request, I'll also add in these 3 simple words, and they are: go think bigger. Thank you so much, Darin, for helping us do that today. Such a pleasure, my friend.
Thank you, Justin. Appreciate you, man. It's great.
Talk to you soon.